What is up, everybody? Mirrodin Gaming here, and we're back for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Tank Showcase and review. Today we're taking a look at the Tier 9 German Super Heavy Tank, the Mauschen. This is the one that follows the VK100-01P and is followed by the Maus. As you can see here, very similar design to both of them, but the main difference between this and the VK is the fact that the turret is now towards the rear. It's a very long turret, so it's not quite as rear facing as some of the other ones, but yeah, very good for side scraping. The other main thing is that the cupola has switched sides. It is now on your right if you're sitting in the tank. You're going to have to pick slightly different locations than you did with your VK100-01P. Go ahead and get to the armor profile. Of course, I'm going to be comparing this to getting shot at by an AE Phase 1 because that's kind of my standard. Yeah, the cheeks, once again, weak, lower plate weak, and your cupola is weak. But when you're side scraping, if you do this correctly, you want to do where you're going to take a shot, and then you're going to go back to your 45-degree angle to try to minimize your weak spots, which definitely, you can minimize them pretty well, but just make sure not to over angle, because once you get to a certain spot, yep, there it is. You over angle too much, and you get there. So basically, I just try to keep the turret right in line or just slightly turned, because as you can see right there, perfect. This is a very small area to try to hit. Of course, this is with standard rounds, which are actually the level of gold rounds of most of the tier 8s. But as soon as we step up to that 340 heat that a lot of the tier 10s have, yeah, very squishy tank overall. So you will not have fun playing against those tier 10s. Now let's go ahead and get over to the comparison. We've got a couple of the other kind of similar one-shot big heavy tanks. We've got our other two that are the rear turreted tanks to kind of give you just a slight comparison. The VK4502B is considered not quite as good as the Mauschen, just in general, but you can make it work if you do like this style. But honestly, the 705 is really considered the best rear turreted at this tier for sure. Then we got our 50 TP, because, big gun, side scraping, same thing with AMX. Alright, so DPM, pretty much the same across the board. It's within 200 points, so that's like half a shot. So really not that much of a difference. Penetration, within about 4 to 5 points across the board as well. Alpha, now this is where it changes a little bit. AMX, a little bit less alpha, but faster reload, because everything else is around 14 to 15. And then you have the 50 TP, which is higher alpha, lower reload. Same thing with and then you have your 705 and the 45 O2B that have the same alpha and roughly the same kind of reload, although the 45 is a little bit slower. You have a shell velocity of 920, which is better than everything but the VK, but it's still kind of slow in general. If we go ahead and take a look at our gold rounds, you have 311 pin on your APCR rounds and 1150, which means you can hit pretty well at range still. Although your dispersion won't allow you to be pinpoint accurate, you'll still be able to at least hit the tank. And this is actually as good as quite a few of, or some of the tier 10 tanks like the AMX M451 or 54. Yeah, it's like at 318, I believe. Okay, so that's two set. Well, this one doesn't have the same gun, so we can't compare it quite now. The one really good thing about this tank, though, is your ammo capacity, 50. So you can take plenty of each type of round. So you're not having to shoot those gold rounds all the time when you face those tier 8s, but you don't have to have that second loadout unlocked in order to have plenty of each type of round. And then we get down to our aim time, a really good 2.21, which is just about as good as anything. Anything under, if you can get it under 2, that's like sniper level. So really good for a heavy tank. Dispersion, it's okay. It's not great, but it's also not bad for a heavy tank for those short to medium range engagements. You'll be able to snap shots in there pretty well. Gun depression of 8. That's one good thing about the Mauschen. Taller turret, so it gives it quite a bit more gun depression compared to the other two rear turreted tanks. Also, gun elevation, really good here as well. You can actually shoot up as targets on top of cliffs or like on mines, up on top of the hill. you won't have a problem shooting them, whereas some of these other tanks won't even get that opportunity. Then we get down to our, yeah, speed. This is where this thing falls short. Big old heavy 170 tons. Engine power, although it looks good compared to everything else, yeah, power to weight, not great. And that 20, you can get up to 24 with a turbo, but if we actually look at the relative speeds, yeah, 10 on soft, and that's on flat ground. You try to go uphill, you are going to be crawling. You're going to need someone to help push you up the hill. Whereas these other ones have a little bit better chance at getting into position. So that's the other thing you have to think about whenever you're selecting this tank is where can I get to? Because there's going to be some times where you cannot get into a good position or one of the better positions for some of those faster tanks. So definitely have to take that into account. Then our armor, the one thing you'll notice here is the side armor of this thing is really good compared to everybody else. So that's what you have to use the side scraping in order to make use of that. Your turret armor, it's okay. It's just that flat part of the round is what's really going to get you shot. Whereas these other ones, like the 705, this thing's a beast because it has a very rounded, like kind of dome style turret, which bounces a lot more stuff than the Mauschen. Of course, the VK, even though it technically has more, it's, yeah, they're going to go through it like swish. And of course, the AMX M4, it's getting up towards the 54, which is one of the best armor profiles in the game right now. Then we get down to our camo, not great. And our view range, typical for the Germans, 400 meters, better than everybody else here except for the other German tank. One other thing I forgot to mention, the track armor, almost double everything else here. So you can take a lot more shots to your tracks than everyone else can, so that's handy to say the least. Anyway, let's go ahead and get over to the gameplay. Alright, so we have Easy from the Reels clan in their Mauschen on Outpost. Let's watch it. Okay, let's go ahead and... Don't know why it doesn't save. Speaking of the M451, there it is. There's the AE phase. And a Prosciutto. Yeah, as you can see, all these other tanks are speeding away. He's sitting here at 20, so he doesn't even have a turbo. He is running food, though. Plenty of each type of round. Of course, kind of overloaded on the gold rounds, but honestly, you really need them when you're facing stuff like the M451. Yeah, you've got to be really careful on this map because down here where the heavy line is, uh, the mediums and TDs that can get up to where that Barask is can take shots at you, so you have to be very careful. In fact, if I were him, I would have gone down around the other side, but tried to snap a shot in there, but a little bit difficult at this range. Of course, I haven't watched this, so I'm kind of watching it live. I like that camo. Is that a new camo? Alright, so all the other heavy tanks are down here. He's going to try to get down to this corner. I would assume, try to side scrape off of it. There's the Barask. See, that's what I was saying. You gotta be careful. That Barask can shoot down here. Alright, so yeah, he's gonna... Oh, he's gonna I didn't even know that was a position you could get into, but I don't think you can fire from there. Alright, here we go. Side scraping. That's what we want to do. Hey, just being careful of that VK, or that Skoda, because he'll come up. Yep, just side scrape, side scrape, side scrape. And this is the perfect position. This side is definitely much better. See, Skoda was kind of waiting, was trying to wait for him to look at him so he could try to penetrate those cheeks. But on this side of the map, your cupola is hidden from these tanks kind of off to our right now. Whereas on the other side, you're open to getting shot in your cupola when you're trying to side scrape. Oh, yep. You saw that? He saw that he was aiming at him, so he quickly turned his turret away to try to block the shot. Really good play there. That's what you gotta do with this thing. For some reason, this turret was kind of being jerky there. Yep. Okay, you just eat those shots up. But he's gotta take care of this guy before you can really try to get the other. Be nice if the artillery finished off that Skoda. Checking to see if there's anybody there. There's the TNH. Skoda's being very shy. Yeah, you can see he's got the HE loaded here. Nice. Finally, the artillery finished him off. Alright, BZ is pushing up. Our guy will follow. Try to get up here as fast as possible so you don't get caught out and shot in the lower plate. So he's trying to angle to where he can probably eat around. Nice, right into... Yeah, you saw how he angled at a 45-degree angle. That's what you gotta do if you're caught in the open, in order to try to absorb some of those rounds. There's that 705. He actually does have enough pin to go through. Oh, nice quick shot there. Oh, here comes the artillery. Thankfully he blocked that. Right, they are taking care of business over here. Find a shot, there you go, nice shot, and absorb the round. 75 didn't know to shoot him in the cheeks, apparently. Oh, BZ is gonna... Oh, that's gotta hurt. And finish him off. Nicely done, sir. See, shooting down on the lower plate when you're that close, you can go through a lot of stuff with those gold rounds. Alright, now we're gonna move up here. Oh, someone finally managed to pin him. Oh, nope. When it's orange, you're only gonna go through about 30% of the time. Yellow is 50. Alright, so you've got to be careful not to expose too much. Now the Skoda's kind of blocking him a little bit. Nice, straight through. Press back down so he doesn't get shot in the lower plate. In fact, even angled himself to try to keep from getting shot there. Definitely knows how to play this tank. 3,000 damage, 3,100 blocked. Doing really well here. Enemy team seems to have started to try to push. Oh, can he sneak one in? Nope, not quite. Both Brask are up there, so he's got to be very careful when approaching here. I don't know why I tried to hit that, because those Brask are way too short. They're trying to get the BZ in the back, it looks like. Watching to see... Making sure that no one's in the way. Oh, people are dropping like flies now. The Brask can move down. Oh, oh. Oh, boom, boom, boom! 3 of them gone, like that. Wow. It's fast. Like he's gonna try to come deal with the Scorpion. Oh. Brask finished off. There's Scorpion. Yeah, he's gotta be very careful because that Brask's gonna try to shoot him in the back. Finlax. Huh, can't even pin him. Boom. Sinlac eats, or tries to shoot him again. I try to get around out of the way of the Barask here. There's the artillery. Scorpion. Ooh, there's another round into him. Although I think that was, yeah, that was actually just into his track. He actually blocked that round. Because he was angled properly. Scorpion down. I wouldn't be surprised if the Barask actually slipped off the backside. Oh, got lucky. Yep. Or actually, no, he came down this side. I get turned. Ooh, yep, shot into the side of his turret. Didn't quite get it. Alright, now here comes the problem. That Sinlac is going to be fast enough to kind of circle him. He's not going to be able to do anything about it. Sinlac can just shoot him in the back. Oh, someone else tracked him, and boom! No more Sinlac. Nice. He got lucky there. As ally managed to track the Sinlac, otherwise he would have been dead. That's one thing you gotta watch out for. You don't want to get into a fight alone against a faster tank, because your turret does not turn quite quick enough. And 53 trying to spot him for the Brass to shoot him. Although I don't think the Brass has an angle. Yeah, he's got to go up and over because they would just play ring around the rosy otherwise. Oh, 8 round and boom, gone. Nicely done. 4 kills. 4,200 damage. Try to sit here and snipe out the Brass perhaps. I mean, everybody's going up there. They'll be able to get him. Oh, nice. Brass managed to get another kill. Doing pretty well. 3 kills for him, and he finally gets donked by the BZ. So that's going to be it. Let's go ahead and get over to the end game stats real quick. So 42, almost 4,300 damage. That's pretty good. 4 kills, 4,300 block. That's what this tank is all about. And then of course some tracking and spotting damage. Ace tanker, bruiser, because he did do yeah, module damage, and a guy because he blocked quite a few. Duelist, fighter, fire perfect, and shell proof, of course. Not bad at all. So that is definitely how you're supposed to play this tank. You got to angle yourself properly to absorb rounds, and then side scrape out to get all that big damage. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. If there's a specific tank you wish to see next, just leave it in the comments of the most current Tech Tree Tank Showcase and Review video, and I will get to it. I record about 3 at a time, so it'll be within the next week or so, typically. But anyway, this is Meridian Gaming, and I'll see you